I'm going to start out this video this morning directed toward Andy, Carlos, the HOA, anybody has anything to do with the golf management of the Sundance golf course. Everybody knows me, my name's Seward. Alright, I've been kicked out of the HOA for almost a year and a half now. The first letter I got that kicked me out of the HOA said, you're kicked out of the HOA for a month, your key card's been deactivated, and because you were combative. That's it. One word, combative, got me kicked out of the HOA. Now, when they had their last election, about 9 months or a year after I got kicked out, I get a ballot in the mail. And oh, another thing on the letter, it says I can't vote or participate or do anything with the HOA, attend meetings or anything. So I've been dutifully, because of the repercussions if I don't, I've been dutifully paying dues on 2 lots for the last year and a half with no access, no input, no democratic input or feedback into the HOA. So I'm starting this video this morning is, everybody's saying that by the end of next week we're going to get hammered with some rain. The monsoon season is close upon us. Alright, anything can happen. I want to start this video out with this tree. This tree has been here 13 years, as long as I've been here. This tree used to have a lot more company up on this hill of trees. The reason it doesn't have much company up here anymore, most of the trees have been ripped out. Seems like every year we lose 1 or 2. All we need is one big storm with a lot of wind and we lose trees. I'm going to try to reason with Andy, the pro shop, the management. This tree right now, I have sailing credentials. I have a logbook that goes with me that I can go into any charter place, and after a quick checkout sale, I have the credentials to charter a boat as big as, say, 25, 30 feet by myself. I spent a month sailing on San Francisco Bay to get that credentials. I spent probably in excess of $2,000, $2,500 to get those credentials. And I love sailing. And I'm a big fan of sailing pros like Jack London. Okay? What you're looking at now, we're about to go around Cape Horn. As far as meteorology goes, the next 2 or 3 months, it's going to be a crapshoot. Violent winds, violent storms, analogous to a clipper ship sailing south. They go through the equator, nice weather. As they get farther and farther, the weather and the wind starts blowing. It gets colder, the wind's blowing harder. And a good captain who husbands his inventory of spars that he needs to get up the other side of South America to San Francisco once he rounds the horn, he's going to need those spars. Now, the main trunk of this tree right here you're looking at is the main spar of that tree. And we're getting further and further south, and the probability in the next 3 months of tremendous winds, microbursts, little tornadoes, you've got a full set of sails up. Be responsible. Husband your assets. Now, there'd be a lot more company for this tree up here. We've lost probably 6 or 8 trees that were originally planted on this hill because they don't reduce sail. This is the time of the year that you and Carlos, Andy, should be instead of holding poses on tee boxes until the ball lands, you should be out here with a clipboard and one of your head honchos on the staff, and you should be reducing sail. Everywhere you see a valuable tree that's been here for a while and it's all leafed out, this isn't the only one. Now I'm going to turn and show you the other one that we have a possibility of losing. See that tree right there? We have the possibility of losing that tree. It's got full sails up. What I'm trying to tell you to do, or I could do it myself. In fact, this is a request. Call me up on the phone, Andy, or send me a letter telling me that I can go out here with a pruner. I have everything to take to prune this down. I have everything to do to thin this down to where it's a skeleton. Now, if you were a husband of the spars on your golf course, this is your golf course, your responsibility, you're the husband of all these trees, what are you doing sitting on your butt playing rounds of golf when you should be out here assigning people to turn every one of these trees into a skeleton to make sure it survives going around the horn? Monsoon season in Arizona. Okay, and I'm going to throw this in at the end. We're due. I've been here 13 years. I've watched these huge these huge cells go north of the White Tanks. It's like watching a bowling ball heading for Cave Creek and Fountain Hills. Just huge, 30,000, 40,000 feet, and you're watching lightning go off. You're watching this cloud go north of the White Tanks, and you can see the lightning going off inside of it. It's like a nuclear event, and we haven't been hit. It's been 13 years now, and we've been able to dodge every bullet. And if you think that last storm we had 5 years ago or 4 years ago was a 100-year storm, I don't know what you're smoking, but for Buckeye, it wasn't a 100-year storm. For Chandler, for Tempe, for Mesa, those people got clobbered. We got a glancing blowout here, and everybody's screaming, oh, we had the 100-year storm. We didn't have the 100-year storm in Buckeye. But we're due. We certainly are due. I can't wait, because I fixed my lot. Now, I'm going to turn the camera on the tee box. Here's my next spiel. We'll stop here and start again. Okay, this is my second spiel this morning. Okay, what you're looking at is what I look down the barrel of every day. Every day I look down the barrel of this. Everything, you see these plants? Everything to the left of those plants is private property. And the golf course plays right up to those plants. Often, golfers drive their golf carts right along my property line. People walk into my yard all day. And the reason I want to make this spiel, request, or try to reason, you're all supposed to be golf professionals, act like it. How many golf professionals do you know that would allow this? I'm on my property line, okay? I'm well within my property line. I'm on the inside. This is what I look at day in and day out. I'm going to leave this camera on just so that you can see the morons that walk up to that tee. This tee box is mismanaged. It's put there. You put it all the way back and all the way to the right. Now, here's what I'm dealing with it, all the way back and to the right. Right under that tree, you see the pin? That pin is all the way to the right on the green. So they move the target all the way to the right, and then they take the tee box and put it as far back as they can, all the way to the right. All the way to the right. So that maximizes the probabilities of a golf ball going in my yard. And what amplifies or increases the probabilities is when a golfer who has this game to play that set of tees steps onto that tee box. It all depends on his history, his relationship with golf. How long has he been playing? Does he know golf etiquette? Does he know to stay out of people's yard? Or has he been trained by his father out here in Buckeye, who started playing here 15 years ago, and he's got a 10-year-old son now he's trying to introduce, and the first time the kid hits a ball on somebody's patio, the father instructs him to go onto the patio and get the ball. This is how we play golf in Sundance. Also, we really don't care about threatening private property or trespassing. Okay, I'm going to leave this camera on so you can see the style of swings that are going to come through there. All right, we can have anybody from Charlie Waters, who's the club pro here, Charlie Parr. I've seen him do miraculous things from these tee boxes, recovery shots you can't believe. He's truly a good golfer, but he has no moral compass, and he's dishonest. Okay, so what's the trade-off? Everybody knows it. But here we go. For the rest of the day, this camera is going to be right here, and hopefully you'll see some of Buckeye's finest golfers go through here. Golfers who swing wildly, golfers who will hit 5 or 6 balls, golfers that can't make it past the tee box, the ladies' tee box, but they continue to tee up the ball and keep swinging as hard as they can. All right? This is why I've got this spiel. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm trying to reason with the police department in Buckeye. I'm trying to reason with the HOA, the golf club. In fact, I might even send this to the PGA of America. The head body, the PGA of America, what this you're doing to the game of golf. How you're disgracing golf. The first thing I learned in golf was don't get downrange of somebody hitting the ball. And here I am downrange. And make sure if they have there's any chance that they could miss, have a brain fart, lose focus just before impact, all right, to where that club head, they still got the speed, they got everything worked except the club head was open at impact. So you block one right at 75, 80 miles an hour toward my patio and toward my yard. Now, if there's nobody here and the house survives without a broken window or the solar panel don't get broken and that ball is well in my property and the guy can see it, he'll walk up and walk on my property. That's what he's been taught. That's the inbreeding that goes out here, the golf inbreeding. That father that told his 10-year-old son to walk onto somebody's patio and pick up his ball, that's the inbreeding. That's why I constantly, day in, day out, have to deal with golfers walking onto my property. Okay?